You know, the drivers, the teams, and the strategies. And I bet most of you think you understand the flags. You see a yellow flag and think, danger on the track. You see the checkered flag, you know someone's celebrating. It seems simple, right? But what if I told you that one of the least common flags got two different drivers thrown out of the same race? Or that two yellow flags mean something completely different than one? Understanding these signals is fundamental. It separates a casual viewer from a true fan. By the end of this, you'll not only know what each flag means, but you'll understand the story it's telling in the middle of a race. Let's start with the one we all love to see. The one that means the race is on. The green flag. The green flag, all clear. The green flag is the most straightforward of them all. In the simplest terms, it means go. It's the universal signal that the track is clear and any previous danger has passed. You'll see it wave to let drivers know they can get back to racing speed. And most importantly, they are free to overtake again. But its most visible job is at the very beginning of a session. Before a practice or qualifying session begins, you'll see the green flag waved at the pit exit. It's the official invitation to get out on the circuit. But it has another critical role, right before the race starts. Once all the cars are lined up on the grid, a marshal will walk or run along the back of the entire grid, waving a green flag high in the air. This isn't just for show. This is a crucial signal to the race director who is watching from race control. It confirms that every single driver is in their correct position, the track is clear, and everyone is ready for the formation lap to begin. It's the final all clear before the show begins. You'll also see it waved by the marshals at their posts around the circuit. This usually happens right after a yellow flag zone. The moment a driver passes a green flag, they know the danger is behind them, and they can put their foot down. It marks the end of an incident. So, the green flag starts the action and it restarts the action. It's the ultimate all-clear signal in Formula One. But, as we all know, a race rarely stays all clear for long. And that brings us to the most common flag in Formula One, the one that signals danger. The yellow flag, danger ahead. This is the flag you'll see more than any other. The yellow flag is a warning. It signals danger on the track ahead. This danger could be anything from a car that has spun out, debris from a collision, or a car that has stopped due to a mechanical failure. But not all yellow flags are the same. It's not just the colour, but how it's waved and how many are being shown that tells the full story. If you see a single yellow flag being waved, that means you need to slow down. It's a warning of a hazard on the racing line itself. And you absolutely cannot overtake here. You have to reduce your speed, be prepared to change direction, and be ready for whatever is just around the corner. But if you see two yellow flags being waved at the same marshal post, that's a much more serious warning. This means the track is either partially or completely blocked. This is a signal to the driver to slow down significantly and be prepared to stop if necessary. Again, overtaking is absolutely not allowed. This is a situation where you might have a car stranded in the middle of the track, or marshals working to clear a wreck. It means the danger is serious and it's right there in front of you. The introduction of the virtual safety car and the full safety car has changed how we see long yellow flag periods. But these waved flags are still the immediate warning. These flags are still the first warning a driver gets. They are the eyes and ears on the ground, giving drivers that split-second information they need to react safely. So, yellow flags manage an incident. But what happens when an incident is so big that just slowing down isn't enough? What happens when you need to stop everything right now? That's when the race director has to use the most powerful flag they have. By the way, if you're enjoying this breakdown of F1's flag system, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more F1 deep dives coming your way that'll make you the smartest fan at the pub on race day. Alright, let's get back to it. The red flag. Stop everything. The red flag brings the entire session to a halt. When this flag is waved, the race is immediately stopped. All drivers must slow down and proceed cautiously back to the pit lane or to a designated point on the track as instructed by the officials. A red flag is shown when conditions are too dangerous to continue. This could be for a few reasons. A massive accident that has left a lot of debris or a damaged barrier is a common cause. Extremely bad weather, like a sudden downpour that makes the track undrivable, is another. Sometimes it can even be for something unexpected, like a problem with the circuit itself, or a family of animals deciding to take up racing. Red flags used to be quite rare, but we've seen them a lot more in recent seasons. The 2021 season was a great example of this. Out of all the red flagged races in F1 history, a surprising number of them, 7 in total, happened in that one season. When a race is red flagged, the clock stops, and teams are often allowed to work on their cars, changing tires and making minor repairs. This can completely change the strategy of a race, and has often led to some very unexpected restarts and results. It's a total reset. Okay, so we've covered the flags that control the whole race. But what about the flags that are used for communication between drivers? F1 is a race, but there's also an etiquette to it, especially when it comes to traffic. This is where our next flag comes in. The blue flag, the move over signal. This is the flag that manages traffic. It's shown to a driver who is about to be lapped by a faster car coming up from behind. The slower car must let the faster car pass them. This sounds simple, but it can get tricky. A driver in a slower car might be in their own battle for position, or they might just not be aware enough of the leader approaching. The rule is clear. A driver must let the lapping car through as soon as it is safe to do so. If a driver ignores 3 of these flags in a row, the stewards are probably going to give them a penalty. This is a constant point of debate. You'll often hear the lead drivers complaining on the radio about backmarkers not getting out of the way quickly enough, as every 10th of a second counts. For the lapped driver, they have to give up their racing line and lose time, which can hurt their own race. It's a delicate balance. Blue flags aren't just for the race, though. In practice and qualifying sessions, a blue flag can be shown to a driver on a slow lap to warn them that a car on a fast qualifying lap is approaching, so they don't hold them up. You'll also see it at the pit lane exit, warning a driver leaving the pits that a car is approaching at high speed on the main straight. It's all about keeping the track flowing safely and fairly. Now let's move from flags about traffic to flags that deliver a personal and often unwelcome message directly to a single driver. What happens when race control needs to tell a driver that their car is the problem? The meatball flag. You have a problem. This is one of the more interesting looking flags. It's a black flag with a solid orange circle in the center, which has earned it the nickname the meatball flag. This flag is not a penalty, it's a safety instruction. It's shown to a specific driver, along with their car number, to inform them that their car has a dangerous mechanical problem. This could be something like a loose piece of bodywork, a dragging front wing, or any issue that could be a hazard to the driver or others. If a car is leaking fluid or has visible fire or smoke, this is the flag you'll see. When a driver is shown this flag, they have to pit right away so their team can fix the problem. Once the issue is resolved, they can rejoin the race. But if the loose part happens to fall off the car before they make it back to the pits, and the danger is gone, the marshals can withdraw the flag and the driver can continue on without pitting. This flag is all about safety. It's a way to stop a small issue before it causes a much bigger accident. But what if the problem isn't with the car, but with the driver's behavior on track? What if they are pushing the rules of sportsmanship a little too far? There's a flag for that too. The black and white flag. The final warning. Think of the black and white flag as the bad sportsmanship warning. It's like a yellow card in football. It's shown to a driver along with their number to warn them for unsportsmanlike conduct. This could be for things like weaving on the straights to block another driver or pushing another car off the track. It's not an immediate penalty, but it is a final warning. If the driver keeps it up after getting this flag, the stewards are going to hit them with a real penalty next. This flag used to be quite rare, but we saw it make a bit of a comeback in recent years as the FIA looked for ways to warn drivers without immediately resorting to time penalties. It's a clear signal to a driver that says, "We see what you're doing. Knock it off." Now, we come to the most severe flag of all, the one that no driver ever wants to see with their number next to it. The one that means your race day is over. No questions asked. The black flag. You're disqualified. The solid black flag is the worst flag a driver can get. When this flag is shown with the driver's number, they're out. Simple as that. Disqualified. They must return to the pit immediately, and their race is over. A driver can be black flagged for a number of very serious offenses. This can include dangerous driving, ignoring other flags, or a major technical breach with their car discovered during the race. But this flag is now incredibly rare in modern Formula One. With the current system of in-race time penalties, drive-through penalties, and penalty points on a super license, the FIA now has many other tools to punish drivers without resorting to an instant disqualification. For a long time, it felt like ancient history. But after a 17-year gap, we just saw one used at the 2024 Brazilian Grand Prix, when Nico Hülkenberg was disqualified. Before that, you have to go all the way back to the 2007 Canadian Grand Prix, where both Felipe Massa and Giancarlo Fisichella were disqualified for leaving the pits under a red light. That 17-year gap shows you just how seriously the FIA takes this penalty, but it's still in the rulebook as the final no arguments penalty. So, we've covered the big ones, the flags that control races and penalize drivers. But there are a couple more specialized flags that warn of very specific and sometimes unusual situations. Let's look at those. The striped flag, slippery surface ahead. This next one, the yellow and red striped flag, is all about a slippery track. This flag tells drivers that the track surface ahead has become slippery. This is usually because of oil or water on the track. An engine failure that spills oil on the circuit is a classic reason to see this flag. Though, with how reliable modern F1 engines are, that's a pretty rare sight these days. You're more likely to see it during a sudden rain shower before the official wet track declaration is made. This is crucial information for a driver. Hitting an unexpected patch of oil or water at F1 speeds can easily send a car spinning into the barrier. This flag gives them that vital warning to be extra careful in the next section of the track, and that brings us to our next flag, which warns of a different kind of obstacle. The white flag. Slow vehicle ahead. In many American racing series, a white flag means one lap to go, but not in Formula One. Here, a white flag is used to warn drivers that there is a slow-moving vehicle on the track ahead of them. This isn't for a race car that's having a problem. We have yellow flags for that. The white flag is specifically for a non-competitive vehicle like the official medical car, a recovery truck, or a safety car before its lights have been turned on. You'll often see these waved at the end of the final corner and on the pit straight when a practice session is ending, as drivers line up to do their practice starts. And here's a fun fact. The rulebook says the flag can also be rocked from side to side, instead of being waved normally to say a small animals on the track. This is particularly handy at a circuit like Montreal, where the local groundhogs have a habit of making an appearance during the race weekend. It's a specific signal for a very specific and furry type of hazard. So, we have gone through almost every flag, from the one that starts the race to the one that can end it prematurely. There's only one left, the most famous flag in all of motorsport, the one that every driver dreams of seeing first. The checkered flag, the end of the line. Of course, we all know this one. The checkered flag signals the end of the session. It is waved first for the race winner and then for every other car as they cross the finish line. It's also used to signal the end of the allotted time for any practice or qualifying session. And for a driver, it's the ultimate symbol. It represents all their hard work paying off in that one perfect moment. But it's incredibly important that the flag is waved at the right time. There have been mistakes. At the 2019 Japanese Grand Prix, the digital signal for the checkered flag was accidentally shown one lap too early. The race was supposed to be 53 laps long, but because the flag signal was deployed early, the official race results had to be taken from the end of lap 52, as per the rules. It's a simple flag, but timing is everything. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you want more videos breaking down Formula One stuff, feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching.